Today, I want to talk to you about how we can pray like an apostle prayed. Of course, I'm talking about the Apostle Paul, and I'm going to read to you from Colossians chapter 1, verses 9, 10, and 11. It's a beautiful passage, so listen carefully here. Colossians chapter 1, starting at verse 9. For this reason, we also, since the day we heard of it, do not cease to pray for you and to ask that you may be filled with all the knowledge of His will in all wisdom and spiritual understanding, that you may walk worthy of the Lord, fully pleasing Him, being fruitful in every good work and increasing in the knowledge of God, strengthened with all might according to His glorious power for all patience and long-suffering with joy. The Apostle Paul was a man of prayer, and in many of his letters, he spoke of how he prayed for other people. He had never yet met these Christians from the city of Colossae face to face, yet he loved them, he cared for them, and he did perhaps the best thing he could for them. He prayed for them. And we can learn a lot from the prayer life of an apostle. First, notice that Paul prayed for them constantly. He said, "We do not cease to pray for you." Because the Colossians needed an ongoing work of God, Paul made an ongoing prayer for them. Secondly, Paul prayed that they would be filled with the knowledge of His will that was informed by a true spiritual understanding. You see, to know God and what He requires of us is our first responsibility, and Paul prayed that they would know these things. Second, Paul prayed that they would live according to the same knowledge that they received, living out a walk worthy of the Lord, fully pleasing Him. Now, this is a familiar pattern repeated over and over again in the New Testament. Our walk is based on our knowledge of God and our understanding of His will. Next, Paul prayed that they would be fruitful in every good work and increasing in the knowledge of God. When it came to good works, Paul wanted them to have as many as a flourishing apple tree in season. And whatever good work they could find to do, they should do it. And when it came to knowing God, he wanted them to know Him more and more. Finally, Paul prayed that they would be strengthened with all might. We can pray for the strength to help us meet all of life's challenges and to endure and overcome with joy the problems we have with circumstances. That means the patience, and the problems we have with people. That means long-suffering. Do you see the prayer list Paul had? Paul constantly prayed that they would know God's will on a spiritual level. Number 2, live worthy of God and please Him. Number 3, do many good works and grow in knowing God. And then number 4, that they would receive God's strength to deal with life's many problems. Friends, you can pray this for yourself and for others. And in doing so, you're going to pray just like an apostle prayed. Pray that kind of prayer today and find yourself firmly within the will of God and loving others as you pray for them.